Top 20 most difficult actors to work with. Dive into the dark side of Hollywood where the glitz meets grit. You won't believe the backstage battles, power plays, and the real faces behind the star-studded masks. Who's pushing the envelope and making life tough on set? The curtain's about to rise on the untold stories of A-list antics. 20. Steven Seagal.
Why? Because he's a chicken shit pussy asshole, you know?
Steven Seagal has earned a name for himself as an actor who can be quite challenging to collaborate with, largely because of his critical attitude and the intimidating aura he brings to the set. His colleagues have noted that he is not one to hold back when he is unhappy with someone, which can lead to a strained atmosphere on set. It is said that his physical presence has made some of his co-stars uneasy, as he has been known to use his stature and demeanor to exert pressure on others. A particularly memorable event involved John Leguizamo, who claimed that Seagal had forcefully pushed him against a wall just because he laughed during a scene. This incident highlights the erratic behavior that Seagal is known for on set, adding to his image as a hard person to work with. Henry Rollins, an individual who has both acted alongside Seagal and is a musician, described working with him as akin to drinking latex paint, implying that it was not just an unpleasant experience, but also something that could be mentally harmful. This view seems to be shared by many others in the film industry who have had the chance to interact with Seagal. 19. Charlie Sheen.
People like Barnes just go on making up the rules any way they want.
Charlie Sheen, recognized for his memorable performances in movies such as Platoon and Wall Street, has also gained a reputation as a particularly difficult actor in Hollywood. His personal life, marred by substance abuse, has often cast a shadow over his talent. His struggle with drug addiction began in the 1990s, culminating in a hospitalization due to a drug overdose. In his own words, Sheen confessed, "I was doing way too much cocaine," describing it as a critical situation for his life. The year 2011 marked a period of intense turmoil for Sheen, both personally and professionally, which included a very public conflict with Chuck Lorre, the creator of his successful television series 2.5 Men. Sheen made headlines with his scathing remarks about Lorre, dubbing him a contaminated little maggot and a turd. His unpredictable conduct and ongoing substance abuse led to his dismissal from the show. Sheen's battles with addiction and his controversial remarks have frequently positioned him as an actor who is hard to collaborate with. During a moment of instability, he famously proclaimed, "I'm tired of pretending I'm not special," adding, "I'm tired of pretending I'm not a total bitchin' rock star from Mars." Despite his ongoing challenges, Sheen has remained active in the entertainment industry, featuring in a number of films and TV series. However, his reputation as a challenging actor to work with remains, with many in the industry reluctant to engage with him. Did Charlie Sheen's controversies overshadow his talent? Comment yes or no below to voice your opinion. 18. Thomas Gibson.
A kiss is just a kiss. To demonstrate.
Thomas Gibson, famous for portraying Aaron Hotchner on Criminal Minds, has earned a name for himself as a strict and controlling presence on set. His colleagues have reported that Gibson frequently sought to exert significant influence over the show's production. An insider remarked, "He had a vision for his character and the show, but sometimes that translated into a difficult working environment." Gibson's struggles with anger have been widely reported, with multiple incidents revealing his unpredictable temper. In 2016, his employment on Criminal Minds was terminated after an incident where he was said to have kicked a writer-producer during a dispute. This was not an isolated occurrence. It came after an earlier episode where he had pushed an assistant director, indicating a consistent trend of hostility that made him challenging to work with. Moreover, Gibson's legal issues, such as a DUI arrest in 2011, have added to the strain on his professional relationships. A former co-star recalled the tense atmosphere on set, saying, "It was hard to focus on the work when you were constantly walking on eggshells around him." Despite Gibson's skills and contributions to the television industry, these events have cast a shadow over his professional standing, with many considering him a troublesome presence in Hollywood. 17. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf has gained a reputation for being challenging to work with, largely due to his provocative statements and attention-grabbing public actions. His professional journey has been punctuated by incidents that showcase his unpredictable nature and confrontational demeanor. These behaviors have resulted in various clashes, both on and off the set, causing a rift with both his peers and his audience. A particularly high-profile incident took place during his involvement in the Broadway show Orphans. It is said that LaBeouf exited the production following severe disagreements with his fellow actors, notably after a physical disagreement with Alec Baldwin. There are even suggestions that he was dismissed from the show due to his disruptive conduct. Baldwin commented on the situation, saying, "I was not prepared for how much he was going to challenge me," highlighting the strained dynamic between them. LaBeouf's pattern of outbursts is not confined to the theatre. He has faced several legal challenges, including arrests for disorderly conduct and conflicts with fans. Additionally, his ex-partner, FKA Twigs, has accused him of abusive behavior, a claim he disputes, adding further complexity to his public persona. During a 2014 interview, LaBeouf admitted to his disruptive actions, saying, "My outright disrespect for authority is problematic, to say the least." 16. William Shatner.
I've lost command. I've lost the Enterprise.
William Shatner, celebrated for his role as Captain James T. Kirk in the classic Star Trek series, has frequently been the subject of rumors regarding his challenging behavior on set. There are numerous accounts indicating that Shatner felt envious of Leonard Nimoy's fame as Mr. Spock. Nimoy's son, Adam, has commented, "There was a rivalry between the two of them. They were always fighting over who got the most attention." It is also said that Shatner would take lines from other cast members to enhance his own role, a claim that seems to be supported by James Doohan, who played Scotty, who expressed in his autobiography that he didn't have much affection for Shatner. The tension between Shatner and other Star Trek cast members like Nichelle Nichols, Uhura, and George Takei, Sulu, is a matter of public record. Takei has openly shared his disapproval of Shatner, describing him as a prima donna with a strong desire for the spotlight. In an interview with The Guardian, Takei elaborated, "He was self-involved. He enjoyed being the center of attention. He wanted everyone to kowtow to him." Nichols also alluded to Shatner's demanding nature, suggesting that while the rest of the cast understood the collective effort in creating a scene, Bill is a wonderful actor, and he knows it, and he likes to have the camera on him all the time. Shatner's reported insistence on being the focal point has become the stuff of legend. Taki recounted an incident where Shatner visited London to promote a book and accused Taki of seeking publicity by mentioning Shatner's name. This prompted Taki to assert that he didn't need Shatner's name to gain attention. Despite these challenges, Shatner's portrayal of Captain Kirk remains an iconic figure in the realm of science fiction, establishing his status as a gifted actor, albeit one who could be difficult to collaborate with at times. Loving this content? Show your support with a like and a subscribe. Not impressed? A like would still be nice, and your feedback in the comments will help me create better content next time. 15. Edward Norton. Edward Norton is frequently characterized as an actor who can be demanding to collaborate with, primarily because of his deep commitment to his profession. His seriousness towards acting can occasionally result in on-set disagreements. An insider observed, "It's both a shame and admirable in a way. I think his Bruce Banner was perfect," which underscores that while his pursuit of perfection can lead to outstanding performances, it can also generate tension. Norton has earned a reputation for shadow directing, a practice where he exerts influence over a film's direction, often leading to conflicts with the actual director. A prominent example of this was during the production of American History X, where Norton edited the film without the director's approval. This version received much acclaim, but it also left the director feeling marginalized. Norton has admitted that he sees conflict as a very essential thing in the filmmaking process, indicating that he thinks such disputes can contribute positively to creativity. His strained relationship with Marvel during The Incredible Hulk is another case in point of his challenging nature. Norton is said to have had substantial disagreements over the film's tone, advocating for a more serious narrative, which eventually led to his exit from the series. He notably declined to promote the movie, saying, "I was proud of the script I wrote, but felt that the final outcome did not match his intended vision." 14. Klaus Kinski. Klaus Kinski, celebrated for his powerful acting performances, earned a notorious reputation as a challenging individual within the film industry. His conduct on set was frequently labeled as insane, with outbursts that often left directors and fellow actors feeling uneasy. Werner Herzog, the acclaimed director who worked with Kinski on multiple projects, once remarked, "I want to work with him because he is a genius, but I also want to kill him." This statement captures the dichotomy of Kinski's exceptional talent, alongside his unpredictable and volatile temperament. Kinski's challenging demeanor was so pronounced that many directors were unwilling to collaborate with him more than once. His unpredictable conduct encompassed sudden shifts in mood, aggressive interactions, and a propensity for conflict with both the crew and his fellow actors. A case in point was during the production of Fitzcarraldo, where Herzog had to manage Kinski's fits of rage and excessive demands, resulting in a relationship that was as productive creatively as it was emotionally exhausting. Although Kinski's filmography is extensive and includes significant films such as Aguirre, The Wrath of God, and Nosferatu the Vampire, his legacy is often more associated with his difficult behavior than his artistic achievements. His reputation as a hard actor to work with tends to overshadow his talent, creating a complex legacy that mirrors the man himself. As Kinski himself once stated, "I am not a monster, I am a man," which reflects the ongoing conflict between his creative brilliance and his tumultuous personal disposition that was a hallmark of his career. 13. Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez has frequently been characterized as a difficult actor to collaborate with, largely due to her widely reported diva-like requests. She is known for having extravagant expectations, such as the need for private jets and numerous hotel rooms for her entourage. An insider disclosed she wanted a private plane and a slew of hotel rooms to house her assistant army, which underscores the magnitude of her demands during a significant event that did not materialize due to these stipulations. Lopez's insistence on meeting her conditions before performing further solidifies her reputation. Dannii Minogue described a situation where Lopez demanded that her backstage area be furnished exclusively with white items before she would agree to perform. Minogue stated, "I was told everything had to be white," which demonstrates Lopez's detailed and sometimes excessive specifications. Despite these diva tendencies, there is a recognition of her strong work ethic. Lopez is viewed as a dedicated professional who fully commits to her projects. She has expressed, "You just have to work harder than everybody else," which reflects her dedication to achieving the best results. However, this commitment often comes with the expectation that her requests will be accommodated. Cameron Diaz, who has worked with Lopez, conveyed her frustration with Lopez's demands, saying, "Cam thinks J-Lo's a nightmare and gives movie stars a bad name." This feeling is shared by others in the industry who acknowledge her talent, but find her demands to be demanding. Rate J-Lo's diva behavior from 0-5. Are her demands justified by her star power? 12. Teri Hatcher. Teri Hatcher's tenure on the show Desperate Housewives has been frequently clouded by claims that she was challenging to work with. It is said that she fostered a chilly and unwelcoming ambience on set, which resulted in awkward relationships with her fellow actors. Patty Lynn, a writer who used to work on the series, mentioned that the crew would avoid eye contact with Hatcher during script readings, indicating a noticeable tension that affected the overall filming atmosphere. Lynn even went so far as to say that it's a miracle that any episodes of Desperate Housewives ever got made, to emphasize the disorderly environment that Hatcher was said to have played a part in creating. The discord among the cast was particularly noticeable when Hatcher was left out of a group gift initiative organized by her co-stars for the crew at the end of the series. It was reported that Eva Longoria, Marcia Cross, Felicity Huffman, and Vanessa Williams chose to send gifts without involving Hatcher, a decision that a source from the production team linked to the cast's strained relationship with her. In response, Hatcher defended her conduct, saying, "I was beyond generous throughout those 8 years," and maintained that she had a good rapport with the crew, asserting, "That crew knows I'd have jumped in front of a bus for them at any moment." 11. Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl has earned a reputation as a challenging actor to collaborate with, a perception largely based on her open criticisms of the projects she participated in, such as Knocked Up and Grey's Anatomy. In a 2007 Vanity Fair interview, Heigl referred to Knocked Up as a little sexist, sharing her unease with the portrayal of women in the movie. This statement led to substantial backlash and strained relationships with the film's director, Judd Apatow, and co-star Seth Rogen, who felt taken aback by her comments. Furthermore, Heigl's tenure on Grey's Anatomy was troubled by her dissatisfaction with the series' scriptwriting. In a notable move, she opted out of Emmy consideration in 2008, explaining her disappointment with the material she was given, saying, "I didn't feel good about my performance." This choice displeased the show's creators and generated conflict on set, as her fellow actors were said to be irked by her grievances about wardrobe and screen time. Reflecting on these incidents, Heigl later admitted feeling like the biggest piece of on the bottom of your shoe and sought therapy to deal with the public scrutiny. She recognized that her candidness might have played a role in her reputation, recalling, "I remember wearing shoes a size too small because I was afraid to tell wardrobe that they weren't big enough because I didn't want to be difficult." 10. Lea Michele. Lea Michele, recognized for her portrayal of Rachel Berry on the popular television series Glee, has been the subject of multiple accusations regarding her being challenging and disagreeable to work with. A number of her former colleagues have shared accounts of what they describe as her diva-like conduct and poor treatment of both the cast and crew. In June 2020, Samantha Marie Ware, who portrayed Jane Hayward in the last season of Glee, came forward with accusations that Michele made her experience on the show a living hell. Ware alleged that Michele subjected her to traumatic microaggressions, including a particularly distressing incident in which Michele reportedly threatened to shit in her wig. Other cast members, such as Amber Riley and Heather Morris, chimed in on the controversy, with Morris describing Michele as unpleasant to work with. The claims about Michele's behavior were not limited to her time on Glee. Gerard Canonico, who was an understudy in the Broadway production of Spring Awakening, responded to Michele's Instagram apology, revealing that his initial comment on her post had been removed. Canonico accused Michele of creating an unwelcoming atmosphere for him and other understudy cast members. Additionally, W.A. Snell, who had a brief appearance in Glee in 2014, asserted that Michele prevented him from sitting with the rest of the cast, conveying his discontent with her actions. In the wake of these allegations, Michele experienced professional repercussions, including the loss of a partnership with the meal kit service HelloFresh. In her formal apology, she admitted to her previous conduct and expressed regret, saying, "Whether it was my privileged position and perspective that caused me to be perceived as insensitive or inappropriate at times, or whether it was just my immaturity and me just being unnecessarily difficult, I apologize for my behavior and for any pain which I've caused." 9. Christian Bale. Christian Bale, the esteemed British actor celebrated for his immersive performances and method acting approach, has developed a notoriety for being challenging to collaborate with on set. This perception is primarily rooted in a notorious event in 2008 during the production of Terminator Salvation, where Bale was overheard in a profanity-filled tirade against the cinematographer Shane Hurlbut. The audio recording, which became widely circulated, documented Bale's harsh scolding and threats to abandon the project after Hurlbut accidentally entered the set mid-scene. Bale's confrontational response, marked by vulgar language and aggression, disturbed many listeners and underscored his unpredictable mood. Bale's deep method acting technique is thought to play a part in his on-set difficulties. In preparing for roles, he's recognized for his complete submersion into the character, sometimes to an unsettling degree. Guinevere Turner, a co-worker from American Psycho, observed that Bale remained in character at all times and did not interact socially during filming. This level of commitment can result in an intense emotional state and a blurred line between the actor and his role. Despite his reputation, Bale insists that he is not hard to work with. In a conversation with Good Morning America, he remarked, "Everyone always says I'm a method actor. I'm not. You have to study Stanislavski to be a method actor. I just wing it. I don't really have a particular technique. I just go, all right, let's see what happens now." However, incidents like the infamous rant indicate a different reality. Bale's dedication to his work and his intense personality have certainly been key to his acting achievements, but they have also made him a demanding partner for some on set. 8. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, a renowned actor known for his roles in films like Die Hard, has garnered a reputation as a challenging and demanding presence on film sets. Over the years, there have been multiple reports from directors and co-stars about his tendency to interfere with the director's role, his quick temper, and his reluctance to engage in rehearsals or memorize scripts. In 2011, Kevin Smith, the director of the 2010 comedy Cop Out, which starred Willis, shared his experience on Marc Maron's WTF podcast, describing it as soul-crushing. Smith recounted that Willis was difficult to work with, noting that he wouldn't even sit for a fucking poster shoot. He even humorously stated that were it not for Tracy Morgan, I might have killed myself or someone else in the making of that movie. The tough guy image Willis cultivated in his action films appears to have carried over into his behavior on set. Robert Benton, a director who has worked with Willis, claimed that Willis thinks he knows more about directing than the director. Joel Silver, a producer, went so far as to label him the most difficult actor I've ever worked with. In 2022, following the news of Willis's aphasia diagnosis, a cognitive disorder that affects language, Kevin Smith offered an apology for his previous petty complaints about collaborating with Willis. Smith expressed regret on Twitter, saying, I feel like an asshole for my petty complaints from 2010. So sorry to BW and his family. 7. Sean Penn. Sean Penn is widely celebrated for his acting prowess, yet his perceived difficulty as a collaborator often takes precedence over his professional successes. Penn is notorious for his brusque demeanor and is generally considered hard to work with, a fact he himself has admitted to. In a candid moment during an interview, he confessed, I'm not good with humans, which speaks to his difficulties with on-set relationships. Throughout his career, there have been numerous reports of his antagonistic and overbearing behavior. Crew and co-actors have frequently described collaborating with him as an intimidating experience, pointing to his unpredictable anger and use of offensive language. Penn has earned the moniker of being a nightmare to work with anecdotes of his confrontational nature and impatience while on set. This has cast him as a divisive figure in Hollywood, as his actions can foster a strained environment that impacts the entire production process. His fiery temperament has been well documented, with multiple instances of his explosive outbursts and forceful interactions. Penn's tendency to engage in intense confrontations can lead to estrangement among his peers. While his fervor is sometimes interpreted as a dedication to his work, it often results in an uneasy setting for those around him. 6. Mike Myers. Mike Myers, the acclaimed comedian famous for his roles in Austin Powers and Shrek, has gained a reputation as a difficult actor to collaborate with. He has been characterized by his colleagues as moody and temperamental, with a tendency to create a strained atmosphere on set. An insider remarked that Myers believes he should have significant control over the cast and crew, which can result in conflicts during filming. Some executives in the industry have chosen not to work with him due to these concerns. It is suggested that his unpredictable behavior can be off-putting. For example, Jay Brody, a bodyguard on the set of The Love Guru, alleged that he was dismissed for making eye contact with Myers, something he was reportedly cautioned against. Brody recounted the incident, saying, I looked up, caught his eye for a second, and within an hour I was told to leave the set, illustrating Myers' strict boundaries regarding personal space and interaction. Amy Hill, who collaborated with Myers on The Cat in the Hat, described her experience as horrible and nightmarish, noting that he exhibited a diva mentality. She mentioned that he preferred to keep to himself, explaining, he had his handlers dress his trailer and his area was all covered with tenting because he didn't want anybody seeing him. 5. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer is widely acknowledged for his unconventional conduct both on and off the set, which has resulted in a notoriety as an actor who can be difficult to collaborate with. His unforeseeable actions have often been at odds with the structured nature of film production, leading to disagreements with directors and crew. Joel Schumacher, the director of Batman Forever, in which Kilmer starred, depicted his behavior as childish and inappropriate. Schumacher observed that Kilmer's demeanor contributed to a strained environment on set, which is indicative of a more extensive trend of discord throughout his professional life. It is said that Kilmer had regular confrontations with crew members, displaying what some characterized as irrational and ballistic conduct towards the production team, encompassing the first assistant director and costume designers. Kilmer's reputation for being hard to work with is not confined to Batman Forever. His contentious interactions on the set of The Island of Dr. Moreau are said to have pushed both directors to their limits. The initial director left the project within a week, while the subsequent director, John Frankenheimer, made a point of saying he would never work with Kilmer again, going so far as to say, "If I was making the Val Kilmer story, I wouldn't hire that prick." These episodes underscore a pattern of erratic behavior that has frequently overshadowed Kilmer's remarkable abilities. His idiosyncrasies, while occasionally charming, have often complicated his working relationships, resulting in a history of disenchanted colleagues. 4. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan's journey with substance misuse and mental health challenges greatly affected her acting career. In the mid-2000s, as she grappled with drug and alcohol addiction, Lohan frequently arrived late to the set, was often hungover, and was considered hard to work with. Her unpredictable actions and failure to meet work obligations stirred worries among fans and the wider public. The actress's issues with substance abuse also resulted in legal issues, including charges of driving under the influence and breaches of probation, which further unsettled her career. Paul Schrader, the director of The Canyons, in which Lohan starred, openly criticized her demeanor and work ethic. In a Facebook post, Schrader expressed, "I am mystified and disappointed by LL's refusal to support The Canyons. She repeatedly said she would come to Venice but never did. She never showed for the photo sessions, including the session for the ad campaign art." He continued, "I hired her when no one else would. She fought to keep the role when I wanted to fire her for unreliability." Lohan's struggles with substance abuse also resulted in her making excessive demands and incurring significant costs for the productions she was involved in. The off-screen turmoil she experienced often cast a shadow over her acting work, and her abilities were sometimes overlooked due to the unfavorable coverage in the media. 3. Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase, a revered figure in comedy for his roles in classic films such as National Lampoon's Vacation and Fletch, has also gained a reputation as a challenging individual to work with in Hollywood. Originally a cast member of Saturday Night Live, Chase has a history of being impolite, argumentative, and known for his put-downs towards co-workers and peers. His difficult reputation originated from his SNL days, exemplified by a physical dispute with castmate Bill Murray in 1978. Years afterward, Chase reminisced about the event, stating, "Billy Murray and I came to fisticuffs, but we never really ended up hitting each other. We tried, but Belushi got in the middle, and we both ended up hitting John. And if anybody deserved to be slapped in the forehead, it was John for instigating it all." Chase's contentious conduct continued to draw attention during his involvement with the TV show Community. He openly disparaged the series while still part of the cast and experienced several outbursts on set. A particularly egregious event involved Chase allegedly directing a racial slur at co-star Donald Glover during production, which resulted in his exit from the show in 2013. In spite of his contentious past, Chase remains indifferent to his actions, as he expressed in a 2022 interview with CBS This Morning. "I guess you'd have to ask them. I don't give a crap. I am who I am, and I like who I am. I don't care. And it's part of me that I don't care. And I've thought about that a lot. And I don't know what to tell you, man. I just don't care." 2. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford, a prominent Hollywood actress, was widely known for her strategic maneuvers, frequently employing her charm to sway those in her company. It is said that she had romantic relationships with several co-stars and directors, which fostered a climate of unease on set. Crawford's professional conduct often obscured the boundary between work and personal connections, resulting in her being labeled as a challenging individual to collaborate with. Her storied rivalry with Bette Davis is one of the most documented facets of Crawford's career. This enmity began when Crawford pursued Davis's romantic interest, Franchot Tone, while they were filming Dangerous. Davis later expressed her feelings about this act of betrayal, saying, "I've never forgiven her for that, and never will." The hostility between them grew when Crawford made a cutting remark to Davis at the Oscars, sarcastically commenting, "Dear Bet, what a lovely frock," after Davis received an accolade that Crawford had desired. The discord between the two stars intensified during the making of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where they sought every chance to weaken each other's position. One of Crawford's notorious acts was to weigh down her pockets with stones during a scene to increase the difficulty for Davis when she had to pull her across the floor. Davis once commented, "The best time I ever had with Joan was when I pushed her down some stairs, which underscores the intense rivalry that marked their professional interaction." Despite their antagonism, Crawford recognized Davis's abilities, admitting, "She can be such a but she's so talented and dedicated and honest." 1. Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando, recognized as one of the finest actors in history, was renowned for his unorthodox and frequently demanding acting methods. Despite his extraordinary abilities, he often exasperated directors and fellow actors with his tendency to ignore instructions and his unwillingness to learn his lines. During the production of The Godfather, Brando would habitually read his dialogue from cue cards that were inconspicuously positioned around the set, and occasionally even attached to the chests of his fellow actors. This method, which Brando claimed was a demonstration of his unique artistic process, enabled him to perform in an impromptu and natural manner that aligned with his training in the Stanislavski method. Brando's method acting also extended to staying in character when not filming, which further distanced him from those around him. As recounted by his classmate Alan Sheen, Brando's early acting career was characterized by a temperament that was impossible to work with, including antics such as playing bongo drums in hallways and improvisational performances using tights and a drum. This atypical conduct, along with whispers of a mysterious patron and a girlfriend named Blossom Plum, only served to enhance Brando's enigmatic persona. Despite his reputation for being challenging to work with, Brando's dedication to his profession was unquestionable. In Apocalypse Now, he had his lines delivered to him through an earpiece, with co-star Robert Duvall describing how the earpiece would sometimes intercept police broadcasts, causing Brando to inadvertently repeat phrases like, "There's a robbery at Woolworths," amidst a scene. However, Francis Ford Coppola, who directed Brando in both The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, has dismissed the notion that the actor was difficult to collaborate with, asserting that he just worked a different way. As we wrap up our discussion on the top 20 most difficult actors to work with, it's clear that talent and temperament don't always go hand in hand. But which actor do you think could ease up on set, making the work environment more harmonious? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more iconic inside content. If these Bruce Lee moments were not recorded, no one would believe it. Bruce Lee stands as perhaps the most extraordinary martial artist that has ever lived. His skills in the martial arts were simply phenomenal. Whether showcasing his incredible speed or his matchless power, unfortunately, since he passed away at such a young age, many might not fully understand the extent of Bruce Lee's martial capabilities. However, those who had the chance to witness him in person can easily affirm that he performed feats that seemed almost supernatural. We're talking about acts of almost unimaginable agility and strength that seem improbable to many. This video aims to highlight some of these incredible achievements, giving you a better appreciation of Bruce Lee's unique abilities. Rapid punches. Bruce Lee was unsurpassed in his ability to deliver a punch, possibly making him superior to most fighters of his time, primarily due to his exceptional speed. Before an opponent could even think about defending themselves, Bruce's strike would have already landed. Being the innovator of his own martial arts philosophy, it's no surprise that Bruce Lee attracted challengers from various fighting disciplines, not just those trained in Wing Chun or Jeet Kune Do. In one remarkable event depicted in our initial video segment, Bruce Lee's skills were put to the test during an unexpected encounter. In 1976, at a martial arts showcase, Bruce crossed paths with Victor Moore, a highly accomplished martial artist with a 10th degree black belt in karate and a 4-time World Karate Champion title to his name. This confrontation took place at the Long Beach International Karate Championships, where Bruce Lee made a special appearance. Amidst a demonstration, Bruce wowed the audience with several techniques, including his renowned unstoppable punch. Victor Moore believed he could avoid Bruce's legendary punch. Thus, in a moment charged with anticipation, they decided to test Moore's theory in front of an eager audience. Bruce issued a straightforward challenge. He would aim a punch towards Moore, and all Moore needed to do was block it. As they assumed their positions, Bruce Lee executed the punch not just once, but twice, intentionally avoiding making contact with Moore. Despite Moore not being physically struck, it was evident he received the intended message quite clearly. Battling without sight. Bruce Lee's legacy as a martial arts legend is cemented by his ability to perform feats deemed utterly inconceivable. This is even more remarkable considering martial arts is an expression that demands complete sensory coordination. Anyone experienced in close-quarter combat knows the importance of constant vigilance. A single lapse can give your opponent a significant advantage. For Bruce Lee, it seemed his command over martial arts was so profound that he could effectively engage in combat without the use of his sight. Take a look at this extraordinary footage from a demonstration a few years prior to his passing. The scene unfolds with Bruce Lee and a sparring partner seemingly matched in skill, exchanging blows for a brief period. Then, with the precision of a predator waiting for the right moment to strike, Bruce identifies his opportunity and lands a decisive blow. What makes this particularly remarkable are two things. First, the rapidity with which Bruce managed to overcome his opponent in less than a minute. Moreover, what elevates this to an astounding level is the fact that throughout the entire duration of the encounter, Bruce was blindfolded. Just imagine the incredible prowess it takes to engage in and win a fight under such conditions. And just when you think you've seen it all, think again. Unwilling to accept defeat, Bruce's sparring partner decided to face him once more. Incredibly, Bruce managed to subdue him even quicker than before, still blindfolded in what seemed like only 5 seconds. Clearly, his opponent was no match for him. Their confrontation escalated to a third round, and predictably, the outcome was the same. Bruce's exceptional skill and proficiency in his martial arts technique were undeniable, leaving his opponent outclassed once more. Overcoming an adversary is one thing, but to do so blindfolded elevates the challenge to an entirely different level. Given that Bruce was dressed similarly to how he was in the first demonstration, it's plausible to speculate that these remarkable displays of skill occurred during the same event in 1967. Knowing what we do about Bruce, such an assumption doesn't seem far-fetched. Moving beyond hand-to-hand combat, if you're under the impression that Bruce Lee's talents were limited to his fists and feet, you'd be mistaken. While he was indeed a formidable fighter using just his natural weapons, he also excelled in the art of wielding traditional martial arts instruments. Among these, he had a particular affinity for nunchucks, a classic martial arts weapon originating from East Asia, comprising 2 sticks linked by a short metal chain or rope. Owing to its unique design, mastering the nunchucks is a challenge for many. However, Bruce Lee was far from the average individual. Consider this footage, captured during a behind-the-scenes montage for a film. It features Bruce engaging with opponents using nunchucks. One might mistake it for a combat scene, yet astonishingly, he's using them to play table tennis. The idea itself is mind-boggling. Table tennis demands quick reflexes, strength, and exceptional hand-eye coordination. For many professionals, managing the game with a standard bat is challenging enough. But for Bruce, using the perilous nunchucks as a substitute for a ping-pong paddle seemed effortless. His skill was such that he could take on 2 opponents simultaneously with only his nunchucks and emerge victorious. Had I not witnessed it myself, I might have doubted the authenticity of the video. Bruce's ability to maintain control without injuring himself with the nunchucks, all while outplaying 2 skilled players, pushes the boundaries of what seems humanly possible. If you like this video, please leave a number 9 in the comments below. Is an intense workout routine the secret? Achieving Bruce Lee's unparalleled martial arts proficiency undoubtedly required exhaustive and stringent training, which he wholeheartedly embraced. By the time he was recognized as a martial arts legend, his training regimens were so intense that they left many questioning if he possessed superhuman capabilities. To fully appreciate Bruce's dedication to training, it's essential to look back at his earlier years. Under the tutelage of Yip Man in Hong Kong, he diligently honed the legendary Wing Chun martial art. Throughout those years, Bruce absorbed lessons from Yip Man, which he later integrated into his own personalized martial arts style, developed in the early 60s. However, Bruce Lee remained driven for further improvement. After a widely discussed bout with Wong Jackman, he found himself dissatisfied with the fight's duration. Despite prevailing as most accounts suggest, he viewed the prolonged engagement as a failure on his part, believing that established martial arts methodologies were too inflexible for real-world confrontations. In response, he founded Jeet Kune Do in 1967, branding it the style of no style. This philosophy led Bruce to fundamentally alter his training regimen. He incorporated weightlifting for increased strength, upped his running for better endurance, and intensified his stretching to enhance his flexibility. His efforts in these areas were notably successful. Bruce's strength training in particular was exceptionally rigorous. He practiced his punches and kicks with such intensity on heavy-duty punching bags and kicking pads, some weighing hundreds of pounds, that he nearly destroyed them. A specific clip showcases his attempt on a kicking pad and illustrates the astounding force of his kick, which compelled the person holding it to stumble backwards several steps. His punch training followed a similar trajectory, with Bruce opting for denser and heavier punching bags than typically available. Such obstacles were insignificant to Bruce, who could virtually tear these bags from their mounts with the sheer force of his strikes. This unparalleled dedication to enhancing his strength led to the development of a punch that was both incredibly fast and devastatingly powerful, a formidable combination by any standard. This meticulous refinement of his physical abilities played a crucial role in fortifying the arsenal of Jeet Kune Do. Armed with his innovative fighting style, Bruce Lee was well prepared to dominate the world of martial arts. The one-inch punch stands out as one of Bruce Lee's most iconic techniques, renowned for its rarity and effectiveness. Despite numerous attempts by others to replicate it, the technique remains nearly unparalleled in its execution. The concept of the one-inch punch is as straightforward as its name suggests. Bruce Lee would position himself extremely close to his adversary and unleash a potent strike to their midsection. What contributes to the punch's fame is its almost paradoxical nature, seemingly contradicting the laws of physics. Commonly, one would assume that to deliver a powerful punch, distance is required to generate momentum, using that build-up to lend the blow sufficient force to knock an opponent down. However, Bruce Lee's one-inch punch defies this assumption, demonstrating an ability to deliver a blow of immense power from merely an inch away. While Bruce Lee did not invent the one-inch punch, its association with him today is a testament to how he revolutionized and popularized the technique, showcasing his unparalleled mastery in martial arts. This particular demonstration of the one-inch punch was recorded at the same karate exhibition where Bruce Lee had his encounter with Vic Moore. Witnessing Bruce performing this technique is to observe an expert in absolute control. Despite the constrained space and lack of momentum traditionally thought necessary to power such a strike, Bruce's execution forced his opponent to stagger backward, effectively showcasing the sheer impact of his one-inch punch. This only underscores the incredible physical power Bruce Lee possessed. You might ponder the outcome if Bruce were to deploy a punch with even more momentum behind it. This curiosity is addressed through his demonstration of the 6-inch punch. While this technique may not hold the same level of fame as the one-inch punch, it's nevertheless remarkable. To fully grasp its impressiveness, one must refer to a certain clip from the same event. In it, Bruce Lee invites a karate practitioner to attempt a punch on an audience member, who is donned in protective gear. The karate practitioner, despite giving his all, only causes the audience member to stagger backward slightly. Then Bruce steps up with his signature 6-inch punch targeting the same individual. The difference in impact between his punch and that of the karate practitioners is starkly evident. Even without the ability to see, one could perceive the dramatic disparity. Bruce's punch didn't merely force the individual to take a few steps back. It sent him tumbling into his seat, while the protective chest pad he was wearing was propelled off. The display of power begs the question, what level of superhuman strength was Bruce Lee harnessing? There are only a handful of instances that truly capture the essence of Bruce Lee's strength. His 1-inch punch, and to some extent the 6-inch punch, certainly highlight this aspect. To this day, many have attempted to replicate these feats, yet only managed to skim the surface. Indeed, no one could execute it quite like Bruce. If you like this video, please leave a number 9 in the comments below. The 2-finger push-up is yet another remarkable display that contributes to the legendary stature of Bruce Lee, known for being one of the most formidable push-up variations. This exercise demands significant upper body strength, engaging everything from the core to the shoulders and arms. For many, simply completing a standard push-up is a substantial challenge. Raising and lowering one's body through numerous repetitions without sufficient strength might seem an insurmountable task. But for Bruce Lee, this was merely a minor hurdle. It's important to note that Bruce dedicated a significant portion of his training to enhancing his strength. This focus allowed him to greatly improve not just his core strength, but the strength in his hands as well. Bruce Lee's approach to training was characterized by his readiness to push the boundaries beyond what was commonly attempted. Whereas most individuals incorporate traditional push-ups into their regimen, Bruce took it to another level by performing them on just 2 fingers. The mere thought of it is astounding. Nowadays, many attempt to showcase their push-up proficiency by incorporating variations such as clapping in between or performing push-ups on one hand. However, for Bruce Lee, these feats were trivial. He elevated the challenge by using only 2 fingers of his right hand, demonstrating an extraordinary level of strength as he lifted his body off the ground repeatedly with this method. Although others have also achieved proficiency in performing 2-finger push-ups, there's no debate that Bruce Lee was instrumental in popularizing this rigorous exercise, setting a benchmark that remains unparalleled. One of the key characteristics of a martial arts master is their readiness to demonstrate their skills at a moment's notice. While many people assume that martial artists need to be dressed in traditional attire, such as a robe and belt, to feel comfortable showcasing their abilities, Bruce Lee defied this convention. He was always prepared to demonstrate his techniques, regardless of the circumstances. A notable example is a TV interview where he showcased his moves while dressed in a suit, effortlessly displaying his flexibility and skill without the need for traditional martial arts gear. This exemplifies Lee's unique approach and exceptional abilities that set him apart. For our final clip, we delve into a rigorous exercise regimen that Bruce Lee was instrumental in developing, known as the Dragon Flag. This exercise is renowned for its intensity, challenging nearly every aspect of the upper body from the core muscles to the arms and beyond. To execute the Dragon Flag, one must begin by lying on a bench and gripping a pole or another sturdy structure placed at the bench's head. The challenge involves lifting your entire body upwards, similar to a push-up but with your body inverted. However, the exercise doesn't just stop there. Performing a Dragon Flag also entails maintaining this elevated position, a feat that we shall see Bruce Lee demonstrate flawlessly. The Dragon Flag stands out as one of the most sophisticated core exercises, not just for its complexity, but also for the sheer difficulty of the workout. It's aptly named in honor of Bruce Lee, incorporating dragon to acknowledge his iconic nickname, and flag to describe the act of holding one's body straight and rigid, akin to a flag on a mast. Owing to its challenging nature, the Dragon Flag is typically reserved for highly advanced athletes, possessing exceptional endurance and the correct mindset. While it demands a great deal from the body's joints, its unparalleled advantage lies in its capacity to significantly enhance core strength. Bruce Lee's unparalleled skill in martial arts continues to dazzle us. His feats, a blend of strength, speed, and precision, seem to defy the limits of human capability. Witnessing his prowess through existing footage reminds us of the martial arts maestro's legacy. Now we turn the spotlight to you. Ever imagined yourself mastering Bruce Lee's iconic moves, or how you'd fare in a match against him? Share your thoughts, musings, or even your own martial arts journey in the comments. And if Bruce Lee has inspired you in any way, drop a B to show your admiration. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Iconic Inside for more legendary tales and discussions. Your engagement fuels our passion and keeps the legacy alive. Keeps the legacy alive. Keeps the legacy alive. Trump still criticized. Top hated celebs 2024. Can you believe it? The man who once sat in the White House is now at the top of a very different list. From political scandals to personal controversies, these celebrities have shocked us all. But who else is on this unexpected list? Stay tuned as we uncover the shocking truth behind the most despised stars of the year. Are you ready for a wild ride? Let's dive in. Donald Trump. On the 13th of July, 2024, a close call with danger occurred when former President Donald Trump was the target of an assassination attempt at a political gathering in Butler, Pennsylvania. The individual accused of this act, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was fatally shot by Secret Service agents on the spot. Despite this, he managed to injure Trump's ear with a bullet. This event highlighted the intense and pervasive hostility directed towards Trump, a figure who has consistently been among the most despised public individuals in the United States. The divisive character of Trump has attracted vehement disapproval and contempt from a variety of well-known personalities. Kerry Washington, a renowned actress, once remarked, "Donald Trump is a clear and present danger to our country." In 2017, the musician Eminem put out an impromptu rap piece named The Storm, within which he persistently used the phrase Trump. Furthermore, the actor Robert De Niro has openly expressed his disapproval, saying, "I'd like to punch him in the face." Prominent figures who have voiced their disapproval of Trump include Meryl Streep, labeling him the bully during the 2017 Golden Globe Awards ceremony, and Stephen King, who posted on Twitter, "Trump is a rabid coyote." The animosity towards Trump isn't confined to the entertainment sphere. Political figures from both the Republican and Democratic parties have shown strong resistance to him. A European Council on Foreign Relations report suggests that the animosity from the establishment towards Trump is due to the perceived threat he poses to their agenda, privilege, and power. Conversely, Trump's supporters appreciate the elite's disdain, interpreting it as a confirmation of their anti-establishment position. A conservative commentator remarked, "The loathing Trump engenders in the establishment is a feature of his politics, not a bug." The recent assassination attempt on Trump has reinforced his position as one of the most detested public figures in the nation. Justin Timberlake. In her recent memoir titled The Woman in Me, Britney Spears has detailed incidents that have led to Justin Timberlake being viewed as one of the most despised celebrities, especially after the book's release. The memoir contains critical accusations against Timberlake, such as the claim that he ended their relationship with a mere two-word text in 2002. Spears also suggests that Timberlake was responsible for portraying her unfavorably in the media post their separation. Most notably, Spears discloses that Timberlake had urged her to have an abortion during their relationship, even though she personally wanted to continue with the pregnancy. She stated, "If it had been left up to me alone, I never would have done it, and yet Justin was so sure that he didn't want to be a father." Additionally, she accuses Timberlake of being unfaithful throughout their time together, with several instances of cheating. The reaction from the public has been overwhelmingly negative towards Timberlake, with widespread disapproval of his alleged conduct towards Spears. His efforts to counter the allegations have largely been met with doubt, as the revelations in Spears' memoir have significantly tarnished his reputation. The impact of The Woman in Me has solidified Timberlake's position as one of the most disliked celebrities in the current climate. Britney Spears' shocking revelations have left Justin Timberlake's reputation in tatters. Comment yes if you believe Spears' accusations, or no if you think Timberlake has been unfairly maligned. Share your thoughts. Justin Roiland. Justin Roiland, known for co-creating and voicing characters in the popular animated shows Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites, has recently become embroiled in a controversy that has significantly impacted his professional standing and resulted in his removal from the shows he was instrumental in creating. In 2020, Roiland was charged with domestic violence, but these charges were eventually dropped due to insufficient evidence. Nonetheless, the mere allegations have left a negative impact on his public image. The situation for Roiland worsened with the emergence of additional allegations of improper conduct, such as using his celebrity status to engage young fans, including minors, in unsuitable relationships. As these allegations became public, the networks responsible for Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites, namely Adult Swim and 20th Television Animation, decided to cut their ties with Roiland. This included replacing him as the voice for the main characters of these series. Roiland's legal counsel, Andrew Brettler, has strongly refuted these allegations, labeling them as untrue and damaging. Yet, the harm to Roiland's reputation seems to be extensive and possibly permanent. He has been compelled to distance himself from the projects that brought him fame in the animation industry. An industry expert commented that the repercussions of these allegations have had a profound effect on Roiland's legacy, and it is uncertain whether he will be able to rehabilitate his tarnished reputation. Drew Barrymore, who was once adored as America's sweetheart, has been thrust into a significant dispute following her decision to continue the production of her talk show, The Drew Barrymore Show, during the ongoing Writers Guild of America (WGA) strike. The backlash was fierce as Barrymore was accused of disregarding the strike by crossing picket lines, with detractors labeling her actions as disrespectful and tone-deaf. One Instagram user expressed their disappointment, calling it a huge betrayal to the writers and the labor movement. Barrymore's initial efforts to justify her choice seemed to exacerbate the situation. She posted an emotional apology video, which was later removed, and declared that her show would adhere to the promotional guidelines of the strike. However, these actions failed to satisfy her critics. The situation escalated when Barrymore suspended her show, recognizing the pain she had inflicted. In an Instagram post, she expressed regret, stating, "I'm deeply sorry for any hurt I have caused, and to our dedicated team who have made the Drew Barrymore Show what it is today." The controversy was so severe that the National Book Awards withdrew Barrymore's invitation to host their November ceremony, attributing their decision to her choice to continue production during the strike. This incident has marred Barrymore's public persona, leading many to wonder if she can ever truly restore her former image as America's sweetheart. Elon Musk. Elon Musk, once celebrated as a groundbreaking business leader and forward thinker, has encountered significant disapproval and scrutiny in recent years, especially after his contentious purchase of Twitter, which he rebranded as X in 2022. Since assuming control of the social media giant, Musk has made a number of radical alterations that have been met with broad disapproval. These include extensive layoffs that resulted in a substantial number of Twitter employees being let go. He has also been heavily criticized for restoring the accounts of individuals who had previously been banned, like former US President Donald Trump and rapper Kanye West, both of whom have a track record of disseminating false information and hate speech. Musk's decisions have led to allegations that he is enabling the spread of hate speech and misinformation on the platform. The Anti-Defamation League has condemned his tweets as anti-Semitic and warned that they could encourage extremists. Public opinion of the billionaire has transitioned from seeing him as an innovative and visionary entrepreneur to regarding him as a detached and contentious figure. A YouGov poll indicates that only 43% of Americans have a positive view of him, while 32% harbor negative feelings towards him. Further public backlash has been ignited by Musk's contentious modifications to Twitter, including the introduction of a paid verification system. Critics argue that he is prioritizing financial gain over the platform's credibility. Consequently, Musk has been subjected to intense scrutiny from lawmakers, journalists, and the broader public. Some have even demanded his resignation as CEO. Elon Musk's controversial reign on Twitter. Rate your disapproval of his decisions on a scale of 0, 5, and share your thoughts on his impact on the platform. Comment below. Lizzo. Lizzo, the acclaimed pop star renowned for her empowering music and her advocacy for body positivity, has been embroiled in a significant controversy that risks overshadowing her rapid ascent to stardom. In an unexpected development, 3 ex-backup dancers have lodged a legal complaint against Lizzo, her production firm, and her dance captain, alleging the creation of a hostile work environment, sexual harassment, and even weight discrimination. The dancers' claims depict a distressing scenario, alleging that Lizzo coerced them into participating in questionable activities, like interacting with nude performers and handling sexually explicit items during a visit to a club in Amsterdam's notorious red light district. One of the dancers, Ariana Davis, detailed feeling targeted and shamed by Lizzo's conduct, which she said was starkly at odds with the singer's public image as a proponent of self-acceptance and diversity. Lizzo has forcefully refuted these allegations, labeling them as outrageous and too much to not be addressed. Nonetheless, the controversy has already impacted her public standing as questions arise about the sincerity of her body-positive messaging. A former staff member remarked, "Everything she stands for, she's the complete opposite of that." The ongoing legal dispute has placed a pall over Lizzo's professional trajectory, with her career's forward momentum faltering as the accusations continue to surface. Both fans and industry professionals are now reconciling the disparity between the Lizzo they believed they knew and the one depicted in the lawsuit, prompting speculation on whether the singer can ever truly recover her previously unblemished reputation. Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors, previously lauded as an emerging talent in Hollywood, has become entangled in a very public and contentious legal dispute that has greatly affected his professional path. In March 2023, Majors was apprehended and indicted for assault, strangulation and harassment based on accusations from his former partner, Grace Jabari. She alleged that Majors assaulted her in the rear seat of a vehicle, detailing that he hit her in the head with his open hand, twisted her arm behind her back and squeezed her middle finger until it broke. Conversely, Majors' legal team contended that Jabari was the one who initiated the violence, claiming she experienced a jealous outburst upon finding a message from another woman on Majors' phone. The court process has been characterized by conflicting accounts, with the prosecution depicting Majors as having a cruel and manipulative pattern of abusive behavior, while his attorneys attempted to portray Jabari as mentally unstable and the actual perpetrator of the assault. Majors was found guilty of 2 misdemeanor charges of assault and harassment, which has severely damaged his blossoming career. In response, Marvel Studios and Disney swiftly removed him from all future projects, including his much-anticipated portrayal of the antagonist Kang the Conqueror in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As Majors contemplates potential imprisonment for up to a year, his once bright career prospects have been considerably affected, and he has also lost the backing of his talent agency and a considerable segment of his fan following. Andrew Tate and Andrew Tate, a divisive personality on social media, has been taken into custody on charges of sex trafficking and involvement in organized crime. He has been incarcerated in Romania and has voiced his dissatisfaction with the prison conditions. Even after being released to house arrest, Tate has remained a controversial figure. The general public has not shown much empathy towards his plight. Known for his derogatory opinions about women, Tate has faced bans on multiple social media platforms for his hateful rhetoric. He has been criticized for promoting harmful gender stereotypes and has been linked to extremist right-wing beliefs. His online courses, such as Hustlers University and The Real World, have been slammed for advocating violence towards women and encouraging them into sex work. Tate's legal issues have persisted with allegations in Romania and the UK. He has been accused of rape, human trafficking, and establishing a criminal organization. The Romanian court has allowed his trial to move forward, even though his defense has lodged an appeal against this ruling. Tate's case has been shrouded in controversy and has attracted considerable global attention. Despite his professed innocence, his behavior and statements have led to extensive disapproval and denunciation. In a humorous twist, the well-known television program South Park portrayed Tate as an instructor of toxic masculinity, further emphasizing the detrimental effects of his influence. Tate's online activities and contentious views have made him one of the most despised celebrities, with many considering him a representative of noxious and damaging ideologies. His situation serves as a stark warning about the risks associated with unbridled influence and the necessity of holding individuals responsible for their conduct and convictions. Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith has become the focus of a media frenzy in recent times, drawing substantial criticism for what is seen as an excessive disclosure of private matters during the publicity for her latest autobiography, Worthy. The audience has shown signs of fatigue with Pinkett Smith's ongoing exposure of intimate aspects of her marriage to Will Smith, such as their separation since 2016 and her previous connection with the late rapper Tupac Shakur. She commented, "As much as people think is in the book, there's so much that's not. What people consider to be oversharing for me, it's like, baby, I'm scratching the surface." However, this openness has been confronted with disapproval, with critics suggesting that she is making a spectacle of her dirty laundry and is seeking attention. A media observer remarked, "Everything I know about their marriage I've learned against my will." The public's irritation has negatively affected Pinkett Smith's public persona, with detractors describing her as a manic, toxic nightmare who should shut up and sit down. Despite her attempts to clarify and assert her right to narrate her personal experiences, the negative response has been unyielding, highlighting the audience's exhaustion with the continuous exposure of her personal life. Danny Masterson. Danny Masterson, once cherished for his role in the hit sitcom That 70s Show, has turned into one of the most despised celebrities in recent times. The actor was convicted on several counts of sexual assault, including the drug-induced and forcible rape of 2 women in the early 2000s. His public persona was severely damaged when he was handed a sentence of 30 years to life in prison, reflecting the severity of his offenses. The distressing facts that came to light during the trial have left an indelible mark on Masterson's reputation. A victim testified, "When you raped me, you stole from me. That's what rape is, a theft of the spirit." Another survivor articulated her pain, saying, "Masterson's actions sentenced me to viewing my body as a crime scene my entire life." These impactful statements have struck a chord with the public, who have almost unanimously denounced Masterson's behavior. The public's indignation was further fueled by the actions of Masterson's former co-stars Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, who were criticized for their previous support of the now disgraced actor. Their character letters, meant to offer a more comprehensive view, were interpreted by many as an effort to belittle the victim's ordeals and the jury's verdict. This adverse reaction has added to the tarnishing of Masterson's image, as his transgressions have cast a shadow over his once thriving acting career. As we delve into the stories of these once adored celebrities turned controversial figures, it's clear that fame can be a double-edged sword. Actions both personal and public have led to a shift in public opinion, and we're curious to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with the public's stance, or do you believe there's more to the story? Comment "OK" if you found this informative, and let's get the conversation going. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more from Iconic Inside. Let's keep this dialogue alive.